Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, who I am ever so grateful for bestowing upon me this opportunity to be able to share with you my lovely Ramadan treats that I have learned over time. I'm really happy to have this opportunity, especially with Ramadan being in a weather that we love eating our food, and us being able to celebrate with our families after many months of COVID and being isolated. We finally get to have meals together and share these meals with each other. So what I also think it's so important is travel was blocked for these 2 years, and after really long, people are now able to travel back to the countries they come from, the countries they enjoy eating food in. And what I enjoy bringing to you is a variety of these exotic and international meals that can be mixed and made a bit fusion and not so conventional and traditional that we used to. So something that I'm bringing to you today is called shirin, but also it's sort of a trifle, I'd say an Indian trifle, which I've added a mix of some different fruits and flavors to it. So what you need for this is some canned fruit. You have some homemade custard. Why we have homemade custard and bought custard is our homemade custard is infused with Elachi powder, rose syrup, and some pink coloring. So it adds a different flavor. You want that burst of tradition as well as fusion in it. The color also allows to be lovely textured and layered when we serve it. We then have our fruit, our banana, coconut, some grapes, and some meringue. Another thing that's lovely to be added is some jelly. So I've eliminated the jelly from this because it reminds me too much of trifle. I'm only short of then adding my plain cake, and I'd have a ready-made trifle, which I'm sure my husband or mom are going to say to me, what is this trifle that you are serving us with these fancy exotic names? So to start off with this, it's not just layered. Certain parts is layered and the rest is combined. So you add your fruit to a bowl in which you mix in your lovely rose and Elachi custard. And you know, the homemade custard is always a more thick consistency. So this is tastier because it doesn't allow the fruit to thin it down, because your fruit has some juice in it, or you can always add orange juice, which is a lovely supplement in anything that uses fruit. You'll notice this is a lovely rose rich color. I don't know why, but the color rose for me often reminds me of Ramadan. You then add your coconut to this. Then add your banana and your grapes. So here's my banana and my grapes. I've never seen a combination with these colors before. These textures are so lovely and rich. Gosh, I cannot wait for iftar today. This is definitely getting the best of me. I'm sure my kids are going to love this. I can hear them playing in the lounge. They're being very quiet and well behaved today. Seems like the... Oh, I think I spoke too soon because I just heard her speaking to me right now. So we're now ready to add this to our glasses and serving dishes. I can still hear her. I don't think it's her fast. She's 2 years old. She claims to be fasting, but I don't see much of her eliminating her meals throughout the day. And somehow they seem to want more snacks. So we now layer our lovely dessert, which will then be refrigerated, because in Ramadan you want something cool and refreshing to your system. So we then add this to our bowls. You can always be so creative with the type of bowl you use. I think it just adds that extra decoration to your table. I prefer using safer, smaller bowls, having little ones around. I then add the balance. I think a lovely fruit would be, I can hear my little ones. I think that their patience is running dry now for iftar. They look forward to it every day as well. So you add the balance of your mixture to your glasses. You then top it up with your custard. I think what's really creative is if you layer it with different colors of custard and jelly, but that also reminds me of trifle, which we're trying to stay clear of. We want to keep it exotic, unconventional, not something we're used to eating in our homes. But I think this looks so pretty. It also does, the colors do somehow remind me of custard and jelly. I think because the rose consistency is often like that. You can then leave your meringues whole or crush them in. I always pre-bake my meringues and keep them for decoration throughout Ramadan. I prefer crushing it in. It often looks prettier. It's also a bit easier to eat with the consistency crushed. We now have our final product, which looks so lovely and colorful, perfect to add to our Ramadan tables. This exotic dish called labeshiri is, I'd say, an advanced version of a trifle mixed with custard and jelly, and you have some lovely textures to this. It's so lovely. It can be served. I think it would look absolutely lovely if you make a mango puree or ice cream that can be served with it. I mean, you have so many options of layering any ice cream with dishes. I can hear my little one speaking. She tells me she's not talking, but she's 2 years old, so I think her patience runs dry as she sees me preparing for iftar. As much as they aren't fasting, the whole family looks forward to having iftar together. I'm so glad to have been able to share these recipes with you. Speaking about COVID always reminds me of how isolated we were. We weren't able to share meals with our family. We weren't able to travel. All of this was restricted. And now after so long, we're able to do this. And again, I remind you, we have to be grateful for being able to have these luxuries and sharing these meals together as a family. There's so many underprivileged families who need help this Ramadan and require the du'as and help of us so that their Ramadan can be as blessed and happy as ours. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram as Adore by Adila, where Adore Eats with me, Adila Patel, will be sharing some of my recipes as well as my new Ramadan and Eid collection that I locally designed myself and will be available to order. So don't forget to follow me, tag me, and share some of your lovely recipe ideas with me as well. Jazakallah so much.